Hey guys, what's up? Cardfight here, and today I'm here with another Aquaforce deck profile. This time around, we'll be doing the updated Thavas build. I know I'm pretty late on this, but you know, I've had not that much free time, and it was Christmas break, and I did have a little bit more time to play this deck. I actually played this deck for like 2 weeks now, on off. So I'm pretty confident with this deck. I also played some other decks which I will be doing throughout the week on my break. So actually, my break is over today, but I'll have a New Year break soon. So anyway, let's get right into the deck profile. So for the starting Vanguard, we're running Mitros. Mitros is the Thavas support. Combos really well with the new Thavas, so that's why we're running this. You can call it out on your wave 3 when your Vanguard attacks. So you can call this out, and then you can just stack all your triggers onto this thing, and then you can restand with it. Since if you attack wave 3 with it's wave 3 or above, I believe, but most of the time you'll be attacking wave 3. So then you can just call this out and then stack all your triggers onto him, and then when attack with him, if you do get triggers, then you can just counter blast one and then restand him, so you can swing again for the same amount of triggers that you got. It's pretty delicious. This new Thavas is very, very good. So we're gonna explain what this Thavas does. So, skill is, when a G unit strikes on this card, you can choose a card from your hand and call it to a rearguard circle. And then during its turn, it gets resist. And then if you call the rearguard with the wave ability, it also gets the ability to attack from the back row. Pretty helpful. Helps you get some extra attacks in. So running 4 of those. Running 3 of the old Thavas just because it has the Thavas name. I know some people like to run Benedict. Yes, Benedict Cumberbatch. So I tried teching in 1. I didn't really like it that much. I rather run some other useful grade 2s and 1s instead. So we're just gonna keep with the 7 grade 3s. Next we are running 3 Cipla. So Cipla is the new grade 2 from G-BT13. Not that new now, but you know, you know what I mean. So when its ability is, when you have a Thavas Vanguard, this card gets plus 2,000 power and resist ability. And the second skill is wave 2 to 4. Counter loss 1. When this card attacks a Vanguard, if you have a Thavas Vanguard, you can pay the cost. If you do, draw a card and it gets plus 3k power. So basically, you get a draw for counter loss 1, and you also get some extra power, which is definitely very good because this card, you kind of need your combo pieces, so you know, whenever you draw, it's very, very helpful. So there's that. We're also running 4 Adelaide just to get that restand. It's the counter loss 1, so loss 1 to give the restand ability and 2k. So it's 11k attacker by itself. Not bad at all. Of course, it only works for 1 turn, and it does cost resources. So that's why we also run 4 Tidal Assault. I know some people are losing favor with this card, but I think it's still pretty important in this deck. Especially free attackers, it's also very, very good. It's also good at diverting guard, because a lot of times when you have this card out, your opponent's going to try to take it out. And that's fine, because you can also always replace it with a Thavas or an Adelaide to do your restanding. So it's fine. But getting that free restand is very, very nice. Especially when you do your Alexandro plays. You're going to be restanding for a huge amount. Next, we're running 2 Orthia. So skill is Gun's return, Generous 1, counter 1, so loss 1. When this card boosts, at the end of the battle, you can pay the cost. If you do, restand the unit that this card boosted, and then during this turn it gets minus plus 5k, and it also has a resist ability. So a lot of times when you finish using your Adelaides, or you have Cipla, you can restand them. So these are not mandatory. So obviously, you're going to use this during your Alexandro plays, so you can get those extra restands. So they're very, very good for that. And the resist ability also really helps against Link Joker and other control deck matchups, which are very popular in this meta. So definitely gonna run some of those. Next, we're running three whatchamacallit, Melania. Yes, that's her name. This card is, is very popular in Aqua Force, and for good reason. You also get to draw, and you also get to get power. So she becomes a 12k attacker by herself, which is nice. She's basically like a grade 1 version of C. Well, C+ is like a grade 2 version of Melania, kind of. So yeah. But this only works for wave 3 or above, while C+ only works for wave 2 to 4. So there's a little bit of difference there. But this also helps you plan out your attack formation. So that's good. And it also has the resistibility. So, yep. And we're also running 2 of the new grade 1 support. So this helps you do some field control. Works wave 1 and wave 4. And of course, it also gets the resist when you have a Thavas Vanguard. And the skills basically wave 1 or 4. So boss 1 when this card boosts. If you have a Thavas Vanguard, you would pay the cost. If you do, your opponent chooses one of their regards and retires it. I like this card because it does give some field control over your opponent. Your opponent does get to choose, but they do have to lose a card. So that is pretty good. And since a lot of times you're going to be using the new Thavas, you won't get the retire from your old Thavas. So there's that. If you don't want to run this, if you want to run more Melania or more Ortheas, you can just run those instead. But I kind of like running 2 of these. Next, we're running 4 Kelpie Rider Nikki. Stride Fodder, just, pretty self-explanatory. And the trigger lineup, we're running Purple Guards, yes. Of course, we're running 4 Purple Guards. I'm running on flip ones because I do kind of lost quite a bit in this deck. Yeah. And for triggers, we're running 8 crit, 4 draws, and 4 heals. So running the draws because you can slow charge and you can get into your combo pieces a bit earlier, as well as you have a chance to get them when you damage check, so you can get some extra cards in your hand, which is pretty good. So that's it for the main deck. Next, we are running 3 Alexandros. 3 might be an overkill, but I think it's better safe than sorry. Sometimes you might be using it for a first stride, so a lot of times you won't be able to kill your opponent in the first stride. You can kill your opponent a lot of times during your second stride. Your opponent's pretty dead after this one, but just in case they're not, you still have the third one. They're usually dead by your third one, hopefully. Unless they're playing some really tanky deck that has infinite hand cards, then you still have other options. We're running 2 of the Thavas GRs. This can be used as your first stride if you need, if you don't have the right cards in your hand to multi-attack. It also gives you a bit of field control, and you can also attack from the back row, which is helpful if you want to protect your units. So 2 is enough for that. One of the new Thavas GR, well, quote unquote new, the one that guard restricts and also pops units. 1 is enough. I actually have not used it. I didn't really need to use it. Most of the time I'll be just using Alexandros all the way. Sometimes I'll get some Commander Thavases, but these are the 2 main strats I use. Usually my opponent's dead by the time I finish using these. So these are just for tech options. Actually, we're running 2 Lambros. Lambros does come in handy because he is free, while as Alexandros does cost countless. Oh, I forgot to explain what Alexander does. So it's wave 2 to 3. Counter loss 1. Choose one of your cards in your G zone and flip face up. When this card attacks at the end of the battle, you pay the cost. If you do, choose 2 of your regards and stand them. And then for every face up card you have in your G zone, they get plus 5,000 power. So obviously this is really really powerful late game when you G guard it a lot. So yeah, so even after if you do your first stride, if you do Commander Thavas, you have 2, and then if you go into him second and flip him, your firmware gets plus 15k, which is pretty good. But we are running Lambros because again, if your opponent's smart, they're gonna try to deny your counterblast, so you can't do everything you want. And sometimes you might want some cards in your hand instead, or you might need to use Allied's effect, and then you only have 1 counterblast, so you can't really use Alexandros and Adelaide. So then you have your backup, which is Lambros, which is still not a bad card. You still get plus 10k, so it's not bad. But the difference is it needs to be the 4th attack. So it might be a little bit harder, but with the new Thavas, it's not gonna be that hard because you can just attack from the back row. But yeah, so running 2 of the Lambroses. Most of the time you'll be using it as your second stride if you do need to use it, because most of the time after if you do 3rd stride, Alexandros will just hit for a lot harder in most cases. So we're running more Alexandros instead. But we're running 1 GB8. Probably not going to use this, but it's a nice tech choice to have. 9 times out of 10, we're going to flip this for Alexandros' skill. Wanting 1 Megiddo. This card does come in handy, especially if your opponent, for some reason, retire your whole field. So, yeah, but you don't really need this. If you don't want to run a Megiddo, you can run an extra Alexandros instead, or a extra one of these. But I use this. I flip this for Alexandros effect too. But yeah, we have the Megiddo just in case, and we also have 1 Seabreeze. This will be the first flip target for your Alexandros most of the time if you're not great. If your opponent doesn't great lock you. So we're running 1 Seabreeze. For the G zone, we're running 1 of the unlock guard. You might want to run more. I'm running 1 just cause it doesn't give you that much extra shield. It's wave 2 to 3, it gives you plus 5k, so it's a 20k shield. Actually, I'm planning to replace one of these with an extra one of those, just because Link Joker is pretty popular in my deck, or not in the deck, in my locals. So actually, we're just gonna do that now. We'll run 2 of those. I forgot to change it. We'll run 2 of these. So this will be the GR lineup. 2 of the unflip ones. Unlock ones, and then 1 of the extra guard ones. Wave 1 and 4. It gets plus 10k. Wave 1 and 4 is kind of specific, so that's why I don't really like this card. We're also running 1 Dismal just because. Dismal helps you protect your Tidal Assault. And VMAX. VMAX is actually still kind of popular in this area, so. Well, maybe it's just the people I play against, but yeah. Dismal just in case. And we're running 1 of the Fighters Collection 1. This is good because you can flip this and you can just flip it back up with the this card's effect if you really need to. So yeah. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I know I haven't been making a lot of deck profiles lately, but that's, I hope you guys understand. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. I think I will post a Asha deck next. Either Asha or Chaos Breaker, I'm not sure. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this deck profile. Thanks for watching, guys. This is Cardfight, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!